Hello, welcome to Tindoc Talks about the Power Rangers role-playing game. And today I want to answer a question that is probably on a lot of your minds. Should I buy it? So here's the short answer. No. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't buy it ever. But I am saying don't buy it yet. The system isn't ready. The errata hasn't come out. All of the monsters of the week haven't come out. I don't know if there's going to be a monster book of different threats for you or not. But there are too many things wrong with this system for it to accurately portray the Power Rangers experience. You can play with the Rangers and they work pretty well. You can fight some of the stock monsters, but without a way to make monsters, the longevity of the system just isn't going to last. Add to that the fact that the Zords don't work in this game. Their power scaling, their movement speed, none of it is better than just being on foot. It is a completely wasted mechanic. I mean, honestly, you could just play another system, call it Power Rangers, and have just as much fun. Play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, roll up a fighter and call it the Red Ranger. Create a rogue and call it the Green Ranger. Create an actual D&D Ranger and call it the Pink Ranger, although the Pink Ranger has better abilities than the Ranger in D&D 5th edition, so I'd steal some of those abilities if the DM would let you. Make a cleric and call it a Blue Ranger. Make a bard and call it a Black Ranger. Make a monk and call it a Yellow Ranger. Or a paladin and call it a White Ranger. And then just play D&D. Reflavor things. Make it modern day or make it the future or keep it in the past. But give your players morphers and things and just say that their abilities don't work until they transform. Now, this system doesn't have Zords. But to be honest, the Renegade system doesn't have Zords either. Or at least they don't work. They're in there, but they're terrible. Mutants and Masterminds is a good system for recreating the Power Rangers experience, although that one is a bit wonky on the rules. Creating a character, like, you need a degree to make a character in Mutants and Masterminds. And once you do, it's basically everything does kind of the same thing, but the way you visualize it is different. And that's just kind of how it goes. You could use Fate to play Power Rangers. Fate is extremely rules light. Basically, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as you can convince your DM that this skill applies. There are a ton of different ways to play Power Rangers. But the essence of what Power Rangers is, martial arts, fighting monsters, Zords, it's not there yet. Wait for the errata to come out. Wait for people like me to do reviews after the errata has come out to decide whether or not you're going to buy it. The books are already on shelves and you can order them online. But they have all of the errors that we've been complaining about up to this point. There are straight up mistakes in the book, but there's also a ton of things that need clarification. Like, the errata needs to explain how martial arts works. It needs to come up with a different system for Zords. It has to give us a way to create monsters. And if it doesn't do all of those things, then it's not worth getting right away. Now, Renegade didn't necessarily do this on purpose, right? They were making 3 systems at the same time. Power Rangers, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. And if you own all 3 books, the Power Rangers system makes more sense. There are some things, like vehicle options and rules in G.I. Joe, that could explain what they wanted Zords to do. But it didn't make it to the Power Rangers book. It's like they expect you to own all 3 books. But I'm saying don't give them your money yet. Wait. Now, this isn't... I'm not going to stop making videos about the Power Rangers system. I still have at least 5 more Power Rangers to go through to talk about what they do and how to use them. And I'm going to keep up with the news, the Monster of the Week, and any rules clarifications. But without all of the investigative work that I've done, going to the Twitch streams, participating in the Power Rangers Discord, and checking the Renegade website over and over again, I wouldn't know how to play. Not really. Almost every page of this system has something that isn't accurately explained that will require a Game Master decision. And that's just not a good way to start the system. The book was almost written as if everyone already knew what the SS-20 system was, and the Power Rangers book was a plugin for it. Instead of explaining what the SS-20 system is and how to play Power Rangers with it, it's like they're just talking about the rule changes to the SS-20 system, which there is no base SS-20 system. This is our first exposure to it. Maybe one of the other books explains it better, like G.I. Joe or Transformers, but I don't have any particular interest in those franchises, so I wasn't going to buy those books. So, don't buy it yet. Wait. Wait for people to talk about it. Wait for the errata to come out. And then, once some of those things are clarified, then think about buying it. Stay tuned for more.